Hello everyone, REM here, and we are back with another Dinosaur Days, this time the Velociraptor. Honestly, my Velociraptor here kind of looks like he has an anxiety disorder, and I think that's pretty realistic. I mean, imagine if someone made a movie, and in that movie, you were represented as a multi-100-pound, 6-foot-tall killing machine, when in reality, you were about the size of a small dog. Talk about imposter syndrome, right? Yep, in case you weren't already aware, which is unlikely since it's talked about a lot, the Jurassic Park raptors are not only incredibly inaccurate, but probably based on a completely different species of dromaeosaur altogether. Velociraptors are dromaeosaurs. They are in the family of these likely feathered predatory theropods that shared a lot of common features, but velociraptors were very small. They measured in probably between 5 and 7 feet long, including their tail, and were probably 30 to 40 pounds. This is very different from the animals that you see in the Jurassic Park film, which made the name Velociraptor so iconic. There were, however, several different dromaeosaurs that did reach this size and weight depicted in Jurassic Park, and the Jurassic Park raptors are noted to be based on Deinonychus, even though they are called velociraptors. Additionally, they don't have feathers in the film, but this is probably due to the fact that the movie came out in the 90s and feathered dinosaurs just weren't as common then. So let's talk about those feathers and why it's so likely that Velociraptor and other dromaeosaurs were feathered. And weirdly enough, a lot of that starts in the wrist bones. Humans have very flexible wrists, and I feel like that's something we take for granted. If you think about another animal that has wrist bones, for example a dog, think about the ways that they can move their paw. It's extremely limited compared to the rotation that we as humans have in our wrists. However, birds actually do have fairly flexible wrist-analogous bones, and this is because they need that flexibility to rotate their wings and tuck their wings and their feathers up against their body when not in use. There's a wrist movement called pronation, and in order to demonstrate that, hold out your hand as if you were going to shake someone else's hand. Your thumb should be facing the sky. Now rotate your wrist so your palm is down and your thumb is more turned in towards your belly button. Congratulations, you have pronated your wrist. Many animals, including many dinosaurs, do not have this sort of wrist flexibility, and the ones that do, like birds, either have complex wrist or hand-paw movements that they need to do, such as in primates, or they have wings. The bone structure and simulated muscle structure of Velociraptor forearms and other dromaeosaur forearms does suggest that these animals could pronate their wrists. This ties into a lot of the theories that Velociraptor and other dromaeosaurs had wings. They had feathers, especially on those forelimbs. By being able to pronate their wrists, they would have been able to tuck their wings up against their body for protection. They would have been able to flap their appendages similar to birds, which a lot of animals cannot do, and they would have been able to extend their arms for balance in jumping or capturing prey. So yes, sometimes strange little details in bone structure can give a really good indication of other bodily features like feathers that rarely fossilize, or little indications about behavior. Being able to pronate the wrist also suggests that Velociraptor could potentially have actually used doorknobs to open doors, like in the Jurassic Park novel and film, depending on the doorknob, of course. And depending on if this little tiny feathered chicken could actually reach the doorknob in the first place. Tiny but mighty, the Velociraptor deserves to be a household name even if it's not the giant killer seen in Jurassic Park. However, there were dromaeosaurs that were giant killers, albeit a bit fluffier, so let me know if you want to see those in an upcoming video. That'll do it for today's episode. I'm going to try to keep these a little closer to 5 minutes from now on, just for convenience. The next episode should be a very interesting and gory one, so keep an eye out, and remember to smile.